start with you, please, Taina. Upon our introduction, you remain seated while we enter the room. When you're wearing a sweatshirt that says, this is what a feminist looks like, you should rise to the occasion and be my equal, and not sit there like a little dainty lady and give me a little fishy handshake. Okay. We'll talk more about that later.
Peter, you were sitting a little bit sort of displaying the crown jewels. Sitting up straight is very important. I'd like you to do that now. And also, somebody, I gather, was opening drawers and looking at stuff in the room here.
I didn't see anyone do that.
Before you got here.
You have to have respect for the place you're in. This is not your house. It is very, very rude to go and look at other people's things.
I hear what you're saying.
This is an intensive 72 hours, but it's for your benefit. We want to empower you. Okay? Any questions about that?
Please go make yourselves at home. You have rooms upstairs. We'll see you downstairs in the dining room before lunch. You are excused.
This is just horse. With these three imbeciles that are trying to teach you how to live. Are you kidding me? Oh, this is a girly room. Right, look at this place.
Peter is going to be the one who's going to be arguing the whole time because he doesn't really feel the need to change.
Am I allowed to open drawers now? My room officially. I already broke the rule.
I think she feels very uncomfortable in this kind of setting, which could work to our advantage.
I really don't like putting my stuff in drawers, so...
I wasn't acting like any kind of 18th century dainty woman at all. I don't think I know how to do that.
Taina, who is the outspoken feminist, seems very meek and very scared.
What's his name? Clinton? I think he might be the one that pisses me off the most.
I'm hungry. You hungry?
I'm starving. Let's get Peter.
Go get Peter.
One of us is going to change.
And who's that going to be?
I don't mean one of us three. I mean to see the rest of them.
Right.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
All unpacked.
Okay, great.
Look at all these forks.
I know.
Now, does anybody know what the next thing we do upon sitting down? Napkin, correct?
You set it on your lap, and then you unfold it.
Okay, there are two different acceptable styles of dining in the United States. One is American dining, and the other is continental dining. So we're going to teach you continental style dining right now. You can go into any restaurant, in the best restaurants, and be comfortable eating like that, okay?
I mean, there's two different ways to eat.
Correct. You eat from the outside in with the silverware, and that gives you a clue as to what will be arriving for lunch.
Soup. Yeah.
Exactly, that is your soup spoon.
Bring in the soup!
Now, when you're in somebody else's house, you never shout at anyone who serves you. You know that.
There's no rush. It's not going anywhere.
There is a rush. It's hot soup. I want to eat it while it's hot.
That's rather large. I haven't seen this going round your mouth. You've made a lunch out, and that is not attractive.
And no talking, it's a mouthful. Basically, social dining is about conversation and company. It's not about shoveling food down your gullet. Let's talk about how to eat soup. Well, there's still some soup on the plate. Spoon away from our bodies, and we sip from the side. If you find something in your soup bowl that is difficult to get in your spoon, such as a long noodle, what you would do is use the spoon to cut the noodle into a reasonable size and get it onto your soup spoon.
Before we start, can you just clean off the boogers? It's gross.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Stop. And don't pick your nose with the knife. I would expect better manners, honestly, from a 2-year-old.
You want me to put my fork in my left hand?
That's correct.
This is very uncomfortable.
Bring the fork to your mouth, please, not your mouth to the fork.
Do we wait each course for the host to take a bite? Do you wait each course? Okay. Our first lesson became very overwhelming.
When you eat, be discreet.
Shut the up, okay?
Our first dining experience is a complete and total disaster.
All right, well, that concludes our luncheon lesson for today, so you are excused. Our students made nearly every dining mistake possible, but what worries me more is that they're not taking this seriously. They have to understand that good behavior should be a part of their everyday lives. It's not just for special occasions.
I'm a bit concerned that some things are not actually going in as they should. So I just want to show you something.
I'd say out of everybody I know, Serena's definitely the person that could use the most etiquette help and training.
It makes me feel bad. It makes me feel like I have to deal with it. She won't go out of her way to introduce you, so you kind of have to make your own introduction.
She behaves in certain ways at certain events that other people find inappropriate. I do want her to learn how, you know, to tone down her behavior in certain situations so that everyone always feels comfortable and brought to all social settings.
I'm hoping that there's a change.
Are you laughing? Did you think that was funny? I mean, is that really how you want people to think about you? What about Mondo? You know, you are embarrassing him with your behavior. Does that worry you? So, he has wanted you to come here to behave more appropriately. Do you think you're going to be able to do that?
I mean, honestly, like, this conversation makes me go, like, want to just totally rebel and just take off all my clothes right now, fart, and run out of the room. Like,
what is it that makes you just want to, as you say, take all your clothes off and run out of the room and rebel? Why? What are you rebelling against?
the judgment. I'm rebelling against being, like, judged for my actions.
Because we're all judged by our actions. You judge other people.
I don't know. I know that my intentions are good.
But other people don't. And this is one thing you've got to learn. And tonight, I want you to think. And think about what other people want. And how important that is. Okay.
Biting my tongue right now.
Well done.
You are? All I can think about is, like, pull down my pants and all over the place. That felt like I didn't have a choice any longer. Like, you know, being told that there's something wrong with me. And I disagree.
Finished your meal and ready to walk out the door? Then simply repeat 10 and 4. By placing your utensils at a 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock position, tines down, blade facing left, this indicates to the waiter that you're finished. Remember 10 and 4 before you walk out the door. Next, on Mind Your Manners.
Is that all I am?
In the first 8 seconds I meet you, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry to pick on you. I don't appreciate lessons like that.
Greetings and introductions. You've got weddings in your immediate future. We don't want to offend anybody. If there's one thing these three are good at, it's offending people.
Can I grab your ass?
When you're going for a job interview, when you're meeting a potential mate, the most important moment is that first impression. So if you could stand up for me, I'd like now to talk to you about the importance of introductions. So how about Saina and Peter are speaking over here. You're at a wedding and you don't necessarily know Serena.
Hi, I'm Serena Kennedy. Hi, Taina Rodriguez.
I'm going to stop you there just for a second. Your approach is very tentative. Do you realize that?
This is difficult for me. I just wouldn't go up to anyone cold turkey unless, like, I just wouldn't.
You would just stand there by yourself all night because you're too afraid to speak to somebody. You're not in high school anymore. That's a very sort of high school clique mentality. And I realized that her clowning around is just a defense mechanism that she puts up to shield the fact that she's actually incredibly shy. So I just want you to try it one time, feeling as confident as you possibly can.
Okay, so... Serena Kennedy. Taina Rodriguez. Good to meet you.
Okay, that was great.
Okay.
Okay, so that is how to initiate a conversation. One of the basics that you must learn is how to do a proper handshake. And that goes for women just as much as men. You don't want to squeeze too hard because that hurts some people and it's very aggressive. And you don't want to do a limp little handshake because that shows that you're insecure. Basically, it's telling somebody that you're insecure. So why don't we practice that? We'll just put our hands out. Okay, and then it's 1, 2, and then release. Easy enough, right?
Very good.
Okay, would you like to try as well? Hello.
Hi.
Peter Morales.
Serena Kennedy.
How are you, Serena? It's very nice to meet you.
Slightly too long on the handshake. I think that you're holding on a little bit longer than you would to a man. They're pretty girls. You're holding on.
Once I get a hold of it, I don't want to let go.
That is like... like, I'm a pretty woman, but I'm also a person, okay? And it's offensive.
You got all that from a handshake?
I got it from when you said, well, she's a pretty girl. I don't know how to shake their hand. It's like, is that all I am?
In the first 8 seconds I meet you? Yeah.
I think his attitude is terrible. It makes me feel really uncomfortable to the point where I had to say something to him. I know when you're coming at me with a certain attitude.
That's preposterous. It's ridiculous. If you got that much of a chip on your shoulder, I'm just not the guy to knock it off.
If I could borrow you for a second, there's something I'd like to show you, and I thought that we could have a little man-to-man talk. You have a seat on the couch over here, if you will. You've been taking a little bit of a beating from some of the women in the house.
It feels that way a little bit, yes.
Okay. All right, Peter, there's something I want you to take a look at.
Sure.
Peter thinks etiquette is holding a door, which he does, but then walking through and farting sort of negates the act of holding the door. He has an incredibly small amount of patience, and I think that as soon as he's out of patience, he just gets on. He speaks very loudly to me, and some people think he's yelling at me. I have learned in living with Peter, your best bet most of the time is to just say okay and just do whatever it is. I love him just the way he is. But if he comes back just a little more polished, I think that would be a lovely wedding gift.
Okay, and that's something that I wanted to talk about.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How does that make you feel?
I think I just ran through the gamut of feelings there. Some of it I thought was very funny. Some of it maybe hurt my feelings a little bit. Some of it, but most of it, I have to admit, is pretty accurate.
You're about to embark on a new chapter of your life with a woman who loves you very much. And to give her the gift of somebody who can, be socially acceptable in any situation, I think is a wonderful one. Can you see yourself acting differently?
Often I've answered that question. That's just me. That's my personality. But the truth is, especially being the person I am in my personal life, that answer is not acceptable.
I really hope that you'll take what we're saying here, not necessarily as criticism, but just helping you broaden your experience.
The truth is, I really miss Amy, and I can't wait to get home and start our life. I can see now that things I considered to be a joke could hurt someone else's feelings. And I will try to improve my outlook on women in general and the way I speak to them and the way I act around them.
Come on in. Hi. Don't look so tense. Come on, this is going to be fun. We're going to have a great time. We're going to talk about deportment today. Deportment is about the way you carry yourself. It's the way you walk, the way you sit. It has to do with your first impression. You're being summed up in 7 seconds. That's not much time. I would like the ladies, please, to put on a pair of high heels.
Are you kidding?
You can't make it too easy. If you could hold this for me. I know this seems just a little dated, but you know what? It's a great exercise.
Are you kidding?
It works. This makes your shoulders quiet, okay? You're not looking down. Your eyes are just above the horizontal plane.
It actually makes me feel a little more calm and, centered.
I love that.
Being calm and centered is what I really need to work on.
Excellent. I am so impressed. When I teach deportment, I hit upon the 3 P's of deportment: posture, poise, and power. No one in this group needed to hear it more than Taina.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to break this.
Okay.
Okay, I told you.
It's all right. It's absolutely fine. There you go. That's good. Okay.
Oh man, you're going to have to buy a whole new China set.
Imagine that plumb line, please, up from the chest. Thanks. Okay.
Oh my god. Are you laughing at me?
No.
Excellent.
Are you kidding? I definitely that up.
What I'd like you to do is sit squarely, eyes up. Shoulders remain very quiet, and you're sitting in the chair with a slight turn of your legs because it is feminine.
Stop. Are you serious? Why?
About that.
Why? I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to question
all right. We need to
why
talk
we need
about
to
this.
be pretty. Here's my problem. Having some semblance of femininity is going to make me an unequal immediately.
See, I disagree with that. I don't think it makes you an unequal. What I think it does is it gives you confidence. Gender roles just don't bother me because I can rise above those.
She gave me a good enough reason, then I'd accept it. But just that it was going to give me more confidence, I didn't buy it. I don't appreciate lessons like that.
Forget weight loss programs and diet pills. If you want to look longer and leaner, simply stand up straight. Starting at your lower back, straighten out your spine, bring your shoulders back, and let your arms dangle naturally to your side. Not only will your back thank you, but you'll appear fair. Next, on Mind Your Manners.
Pain to trust was like a guy.
And later.
Walk and glide. What are we gonna do?